Before we begin, take just a quick second and hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy discovering the hidden value of old coins and learning how ordinary pocket change can sometimes be worth a small fortune, this channel is exactly for you. Subscribing helps you stay updated with rare coin stories, historical discoveries, and real market values that many collectors never talk about. Now, let's get started with a coin that many people have seen, but very few truly understand. Imagine opening an old drawer in your home. Inside, there's a small box filled with coins collected over the years. Most people would glance at them and assume they're just spare change from another country. But what if one of those coins could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? What if a simple coin, something small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, could quietly hold a value that surprises even experienced collectors? Today, we're looking at a coin that often goes unnoticed, the 20-cent coin from South Africa dated 2009. At first glance, it looks like a normal circulation coin. Millions of people in South Africa have handled coins like this while buying groceries, paying for transportation, or receiving change from a shop. Because of that, most people never imagined that one particular version of this coin could attract serious attention from collectors around the world. Now picture the year 2009. The world was recovering from economic uncertainty. Technology was changing rapidly, and many countries were moving toward digital payments. Yet coins still played an important role in everyday transactions. In South Africa, the 20-cent coin remained a familiar piece of currency used by people from busy city markets to quiet rural towns. The design of the coin reflects something important about South African identity and culture. On one side, you find the national coat of arms, a powerful symbol representing unity, heritage, and resilience. This emblem isn't just decoration. It tells the story of a nation that has experienced transformation, challenges, and growth throughout its history. Every detail engraved into the metal has meaning, from the shapes and patterns to the careful arrangement of symbols. For many collectors, coins are not simply money. They are tiny historical documents. They carry the marks of the time in which they were created. When someone holds a coin minted years ago, they are essentially holding a physical piece of history. Now think about how coins are produced. When a mint manufactures coins for circulation, machines strike metal blanks using engraved dies. Each strike leaves the design pressed into the surface. But sometimes something unusual happens during this process. A slight misalignment, a die variation, or a limited batch can create coins that differ subtly from the rest. These differences may seem small to the average person. In fact, most people would never notice them. But collectors and experts look closely at every detail. They study the lettering, the spacing, the thickness of the metal, and even microscopic variations in the surface. Why? Because those tiny details can transform an ordinary coin into something rare, and rarity is one of the most powerful forces in the world of coin collecting. Let's imagine two coins that look almost identical. One was produced in massive numbers and circulated everywhere. The other came from a much smaller batch, perhaps struck under slightly different conditions. Over time, most of those coins disappeared into circulation, got damaged, or were melted down. Now only a handful remain in exceptional condition. Suddenly, that small difference changes everything. Collectors begin searching for that specific coin. Auctions start listing it. Experts discuss it in private collecting circles. And slowly, the value begins to climb. The 2009 South African 20-cent coin is interesting because it sits right on the line between common currency and collectible mystery. To the average person, it's simply 20 cents. But to someone who understands coin history, mint production, and rarity patterns, it can represent something far more fascinating. Think about the journey a coin takes. When it leaves the mint, it begins traveling from hand to hand. It might pass through hundreds or even thousands of people over the years. It could sit in cash registers, fall between car seats, or end up forgotten in jars of spare change. Some coins become worn and scratched from years of use. Others remain surprisingly well preserved, perhaps stored in a drawer shortly after they were minted. Condition matters enormously in coin collecting. A coin that looks almost brand new, with sharp details and minimal wear, can be dramatically more valuable than the same coin that has been heavily circulated. Collectors describe this using grading levels. A coin in average circulated condition might only attract mild interest, but the same coin in high-grade condition can suddenly become highly desirable. Now imagine a collector examining a 2009 20-cent coin under bright light. They rotate it slowly, studying the edges and the design. They look carefully at the lettering, the texture of the background, and the crispness of the coat of arms. Something about it stands out. Perhaps it was preserved better than most. Maybe it came from a specific mint batch known among specialists. Or maybe it carries a subtle variation that only trained collectors recognized at that moment. The coin stops being ordinary. It becomes a discovery. And discoveries like this are what make coin collecting exciting, especially for men who enjoy history, treasure hunting, and the thrill of finding hidden value in everyday objects. Many experienced collectors say the real excitement comes from the search. Anyone can buy a rare coin at auction, but finding one unexpectedly in a collection, an old wallet, or a family inheritance is a completely different feeling. It's the same thrill as uncovering buried treasure. Older collectors often tell stories about the first valuable coin they ever discovered. Sometimes it happened decades ago. Maybe they were sorting through coins with their father or grandfather. Maybe they were checking change after reading about collectible coins in a magazine. And then suddenly, there it was, a coin that looked ordinary to everyone else, but special to them. The 2009 South African 20-cent coin has captured attention in certain collecting circles for similar reasons. Many examples exist, but not all of them are equal. Some pieces stand out because of preservation, rarity factors, or unique characteristics. Collectors who study international coins often pay special attention to pieces from countries with rich historical backgrounds. South Africa fits that description perfectly. Its currency reflects cultural diversity, wildlife symbolism, and a long timeline of economic change. Every coin from that nation carries part of that story. Now imagine sitting at a collector's table, surrounded by magnifying glasses, soft cloths, and small protective holders. A group of collectors quietly studies different coins. Most pieces receive only a quick glance, but then someone places a 2009 20-cent coin under the light. The room becomes more focused. Collectors lean closer. Questions begin to form. Where was this one found? Has it been graded? Could it be one of the rare variations people have been discussing? Moments like this are what fuel the passion of serious coin enthusiasts, because occasionally, a coin appears that surprises everyone. And when that happens, the market reacts quickly. Private collectors begin competing to own it. Auction houses receive inquiries. The conversation spreads through collecting communities. The coin that once bought a small snack suddenly becomes a prized collectible. But here's where the story becomes even more intriguing. Not every valuable coin looks special at first glance. In fact, many of the most surprising discoveries happen when someone almost ignores the coin completely. Think about how many people have jars of old coins sitting somewhere in their homes right now. Those coins may come from travels, gifts, or leftover currency from years ago. Most people assume they're only worth their face value, but collectors know better. Inside those jars could be coins that carry hidden rarity, and sometimes, one particular coin stands out from the rest in a way no one expected. The 2009 South African 20-cent coin has become one of those pieces that encourages collectors to look again at coins they might normally overlook, because somewhere out there, a specific example exists that changed the way people view this small coin. A coin that once moved quietly through everyday transactions eventually caught the attention of the collecting world. And when experts finally realized what they were looking at, the conversation shifted from curiosity to astonishment. Because the potential value attached to that small piece of metal was far greater than anyone standing in a grocery line back in 2009 could have imagined. What happened next surprised even seasoned collectors. Auctions began discussing the coin. Private buyers started asking questions. And the story of the 2009 20-cent coin slowly spread among enthusiasts who understood how rare moments like this can be. The idea that a simple coin could carry such extraordinary value captures the imagination of collectors everywhere, but it reminds them that treasures are not always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain